Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to my channel. Today is perfume review day, and today is a special perfume. Coco Chanel, or Coco by Chanel, or Chanel Coco, in its Eau De Toilette form and Eau De Parfum form. Both of these babies are gonna get a beautiful review today because I'm in the mood for Coco. Since summer is fading out unequivocally and autumn is kind of starting to shimmer its golden glow on the horizon, I'm in the mood for Twin Peaks and Coco Chanel. 1984. Jacques Polge is the mastermind behind this perfume. Mind you, Karl Lagerfeld hit Chanel in 1983. He became the artistic director and creative designer for Chanel 1983. This was the first perfume launch post entrance and arrival of Lagerfeld within the Chanel realm. I have my beautiful GST extra large behind me. If you haven't, check out the review and the unboxing in the card section up above. This little baby is going to follow me through the review because of the gold hardware, the opulence, the big glossiness of the caviar leather. It just matches that leather, that beautiful leather smell that kind of comes in whiffs from behind me is going to definitely frame the hints of leather that are in here as well. So let's get started, shall we? This perfume came out, as we said, 1984. Am I correct? Yes, I am. Chanel died in 1971. So that's 11, 12, 13 years after her death. Fortunately, she never smelled this one. So you could say it's not really an original Chanel, but it is. Let's get to it, shall we? Let me just take everything away here. And you can't spray perfume on other stuff. Okay. Eau De Toilette on this side. And we're going to do the Eau De Parfum on this side. Wow. Okay. It's like a drug. It really gives you a high. Now, let me tell you. First off, the code, the batches, oh god, this one is almost like gone. No, I can see it. I can see it. Oh, I can't see it. It begins with a 4. I think it's, I can't see it. Because, you know, they have been reformulated and a lot of people say that the versions that are available nowadays are not as powerful and as strong as the original formulations. These are pretty old. I bought these years and years ago, at least, I don't know, at least 5 years ago. And I use them sparingly. They're not my go-to scent every day. I just have to be in the right mood. And usually the right mood is either somewhere in weird winter days where you don't know what kind of weather you're going to get, or these transitional phases between summer and autumn, or between, like when winter is already over, it's officially spring, but sometimes the spring can be kind of cold still and not really kicking in when it's supposed to be kicking in. That's also the time I use Coco. So the Eau De Toilette has something almost unrecognizable. I don't know, guys, what this is. It's like a 4701, and the Eau De Parfum is very easily readable. It's a 4601. So you can imagine this is from quite a few years ago. This is the original package from back in the day of the Coco. And I got this, it was pretty expensive. It was, well, it wasn't that expensive. It was around 48 euro for the 35 milliliter Eau De Parfum. And the batch code is at the bottom of the box as well. You could see this little print, not printed, but dented in bit. And yes, it's the same one, obviously. It's its box, 4601. Now, let's get to the scent, shall we? They're quite similar, and I have to say, a lot of people consider the Coco Eau De Toilette as a unisex perfume. You know me and unisex perfumes. Check out the video up above about my, you know, what I consider unisex or not unisex and what I think of classification of gender within perfumery. So I'm not even going to go there. You wear it if you love it. And I love both. I do have to say that this one is a bit more generic and user-friendly, the Eau De Toilette, as the Eau de Parfum requires more attention and dedication and can, especially in these reformulated versions, cause headaches. Because if you don't dose this right, it's really, I mean, it was considered, I've read on some blogs years ago, the most poisonous of all perfumes because of all the ingredients it had in it. I don't know if that's true or not, doesn't matter, we love the smell. Oxygen is going to kill you too, so whatever. All right, let's go with the ingredients. Now, the ingredients are listed as identical on online websites for both of them, for the Eau de Parfum and the Eau de Toilette. So I'm just going to read one, and one is valid for both at this point. Probably the concentrations are slightly different though. But anyway, we have top notes: Bulgarian rose, jasmine, peach, mandarin orange, coriander. Then we got middle notes: rose, clover, orange blossom, cloves, mimosa. We got the base notes of popanax, tonka bean, sandalwood, amber, labdanum, and then we got civet and vanilla. Not a fan of vanilla, but I don't really sense it out here that much because, I mean, this one is considered an oriental spicy fragrance. A lot of people don't even call it oriental since they call it very Moroccan. So Morocco is not really the Orient, it's Africa. But in my opinion, well, first of all, you could see the difference in color. Even though this is a thinner bottle, it is the smallest Eau de Parfum bottle. There's less liquid in there than in here. The thickness of it, it's still yellower, more yellow than the Eau de Toilette. This is the Eau de Parfum. So you can imagine that it also smells darker. And there's something definitely reminiscent of, I don't know, within the L'Exclusive range, Coromandel is considered the most baroque of Chanel perfumes, in a way, or Renaissance. Within the regular range, I would definitely classify Coco Chanel as the most baroque or rococo of the Chanel perfumes. Why? That's why I'm also wearing this very kind of regal, if you want, Renaissance or baroque looking shirt in honor of this gorgeous perfume, by the way. I usually dress up for reviews kind of in the mood that a perfume gives me. So why baroque? Now back to that. I have the feeling that this scent, more so than others, and this is something I've also spoken to you about in other reviews, makes me go on a trip in my mind. Like, it catapults me in a sort of film, movie atmosphere. It makes me feel as if I'm walking through honey that doesn't have that typical smell of honey that we're used to when we buy honey. Granted, it's organic honey and not sugarized honey, artificially kind of sweetened, but like organic honey. Now imagine if that honey it wouldn't be sticky and kind of like flowy, but the honey would be more like Jell-O. So a bit more melty than Jell-O, not really that thick. You can go through it and it's not going to kind of cut like Jell-O would cut, with those kind of edgy lines. You could like enter the honey. And the smell of the honey is sweet, but we have the cloves or the cloves, the clover leaf, that sweetness of that particular flower. And that is exactly the balsamic type of honey, warm, ambery feel that Coco gives, that Coco gives out. This means that when you wear it, everything kind of slows down. Everything becomes more relaxed, but at the same time, opulent. And opulence is definitely the key word here. Now, bear with me. Imagine Chanel fashion in the mid to late 80s and early 90s. The early 90s were the prime time of Lagerfeld at Chanel. I mean, those, especially the 1991, 92, 93, 94 collections were just, to me, worthy of permanent exhibitions in museums of design and art. But the 80s were the years where, you know, opulence was given not so, yes, of course, through the quality of the textiles and the fabrics within luxury brands, but also through kind of chunky statements, bigger statements. What we see in Chanel designs today is more of a refined, detailed, intricate, kind of endless dedication to detail structures within clothes, apparel, ready-to-wear, haute couture. So you're going to see billions of little details, which in my personal opinion are also too much. I'm liking kind of the overall look, but when you zoom into detail into these clothes, it's just like endless layers of more and more and more. What I love about the 80s and the early 90s is the simplicity of it. There wasn't so much layering as far as the structure of the textiles and the fabrics went, but it was rather a bold statement. Chanel used a lot of gold-plated accessories with really yellow gold. I don't know if it's 18 or 24 karat plating, but it definitely was yellow gold that almost kind of bordered to orange, you know, to red orange. Really warm colors. In fact, it's kind of in this direction, more yellow than this gold. I mean, you know, now I'm using artificial lighting and natural lighting, so this gold doesn't appear to be as yellow as it actually should. Maybe on the box. Not even. It's even more intense than this. The accessories were more bold. You know, now Chanel tends to use more sophisticated, subdued, understatement, toning, not plating anymore, but toning of gold. So it's very light gold. They use seldomly really yellow gold. But the 80s were all about bold statements. So even the patterns and the knits and the cuts, everything was kind of more to the point, more simple, but it's still in my memory as the most representative of Chanel products and quality. And this is why I believe that Coco fits perfectly in that era, and it represents that era. So when you wear this, you really get that feel of, in a way, simplicity, because you simplify everything. Everything becomes more simple, but chunkier. And by chunkier, to some it could appear tacky, to others it could appear as if you are giving out just a bold statement and you're very sure of yourself and you're owning it, you know, you're owning that moment, you know, you're like, you know, when you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, for whoever did, but not just any sort of reality TV show, most of it is anyway scripted, but for the ones that are not really scripted, you have like the whole situation happening, and then you have the characters from the show kind of out of the show, in front of the camera, as if they were interviewed, giving their opinions on the situations they were in right before, or the situations that are just going to come up. And it's always so funny how sometimes, and I take example from RuPaul's Drag Race, because sometimes, you know, when they're doing not just the lip sync for My Life, but the other challenges where they're just, you know, doing their runway looks, when they're giving those interviews, post runway look and post judgment, they kind of try to sell it for more than it really is. So, you know, you see some of the drag queens kind of walk in the runway serving something that they consider their realness in some direction. You think, meh. And then backstage, when they're like kind of giving that interview, they say, girl, I was serving it. I was on it. I was serving them some haute couture meets Cher meets, I don't know what, you know, like Chanel, realness. And you just go, okay. Because, you know, so this is kind of the trick with this perfume. It's going to catapult you in that state of mind where you have the feeling you're serving some hot realness, you know, like chunky, over the top, gold plated, fierce realness. When in reality, that's all just in your head. You know, how you might be perceived by other people is just like a tacky mess. So that's how Coco is tricky. But guess what? That's why I love it so much, because that tackiness is a bold statement from Chanel in general. And I go for that type of stuff. So whenever there's Chanel at hand, I want the statement pieces. I want the chunkiness. And this perfume is that to a T, you know, hunty. Because if you go for that chunkiness, you will be rewarded. How, you ask yourselves? Well, let me tell you how. Because the reward comes from within. When you wear this perfume, you're going to have definitely you're going to get compliments. You're going to get compliments. And the ones that won't like it will stay away from you because it's going to be too much for them. They're going to even avoid confrontation, which in my book is perfection. It's what a perfume is. It's supposed to protect you, and it's supposed to at the same time attract what is attracted to you. Think about that next time you choose a perfume, guys. I hope you like this review. And thank you so much for subscribing. Keep subscribing, let the community grow, and share this video if you liked it. I want to know your opinions on Coco Chanel, and especially the difference between opinions from the Eau De Toilette and the Eau De Parfum. I might in the future make a pure parfum review, but every time I try it, I have my kind of problems with the pure parfum. But that's for another time. Give me your opinions, and also please, I'm very curious to know who has the newer batch codes that begin with an 8, I presume, or even a 7. What do you think about the difference between years, the concentrations? Is it more mellowed down or not mellowed down? Sillage, projection, very strong and powerful for me. But again, you know, that's from these bottles, from batch codes that begin with a 4. It lasts more than a day, and it sticks to the clothes even longer. Very warm. This is a red, intense, juicy, succulent lipstick. The Eau de Parfum on this arm. And the Eau de Toilette is a softer toned lipstick. It's more mattified. It's not as glossy. And it definitely allows you to use it all day. This one here is more evening. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. Share this video and see you soon. Bye. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out some of my other videos. I'm also on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So come on over guys and join the fun.